Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bill. We're going to be in Dungeon World for this video. We are going to start looking at the rules on creating the world. And from what my brief flip through of this is, it's more of how you create towns and areas for the players to go and interact with the NPCs and sell the loot that they're getting. So let's start reading in. I'm probably going to cover this in multiple videos. So let's dive into the beginning. Much of the adventuring life is spent in dusty, forgotten tombs or in places of terror and life-threatening danger. It's commonplace to awaken from a short and fitful rest still deep in the belly of the world and surrounded by foes. When the time comes to emerge from these places, whether laden with spoils of battle or beaten and bloody, an adventurer seeks out safety and solace. These are the comforts of civilization: a warm bath, a meal of mead and bread, the company of fellow men and elves and dwarves and halflings. Often thoughts of returning to these places are all that keep an adventurer from giving up altogether. All fight for gold and glory, but who doesn't ache for a place to spend the gold and laugh around a fire, listening to tales of folly and adventure? This chapter covers the wider world, the grand and sweeping scope outside the dungeon. The always marching movement of the GM's fronts will shape the world, and in turn, the world reflects the actions the players take to stop or redirect them. Steadings. We call all the assorted communities, holds, and so on where there is a place to stay in some modicum of civilization steadings, as in homestead. Steadings are a place with at least a handful of inhabitants, usually human, and some stable structures. They can be as big as a capital city or as small as a few ramshackle buildings. Creating the world. Remember how you started the first session with action either underway or impending? At some point, the characters are going to need to retreat from that action, either to heal their wounds or to celebrate and resupply. When the players leave the site of their first adventure for the safety of civilization, it is time to start drawing the campaign map. Take a large sheet of paper, plain white if you like, or hex gridded if you want to get fancy. Place it where everyone can see and make a mark for the site of the adventure. Use pencil. This map will change. It could be to scale and detailed or broad and abstract, depending on your preference. Just make it obvious. Keep the mark small and somewhere around the center of the paper so you have space to grow. Now add the nearest steading, a place the characters can go to rest and gather supplies. Draw a mark for that place on the map and fill in the space between with some terrain features. Try to keep it within a day or two of the site of their first adventure. A short trip through a rocky pass or some heavy woods is suitable, or a wider distance by road or across open ground. When you have time, after the first session or during a snack break, for example, use the rules to create the first steading. Consider adding marks for other places that have been mentioned so far, either details from character creation or the steading rules themselves. While you're in town, when the players visit a steading, there are some special moves they'll be able to make. These still follow the functioning flow of the game. When the players arrive, ask them, "What do you do?" The players' actions will more often than not trigger a move from this list. They are cover, respite, reinvigorate, and resupply. Opportunities for the players to gather their wits and spend their treasure. Remember that a steading isn't a break from reality. They're still making hard moves when necessary and thinking about how the player's actions or inaction advances your fronts. The impending doom is always there. whether the players are fighting it in the dungeon or ignoring it while getting drunk in the local tavern. Don't let a visit to the steading become a permanent respite. Remember, Dungeon World is scary, dangerous place. If the players choose to ignore that, they're giving you a golden opportunity to make a hard move. Fill the characters' lives with adventure, whether they're out seeking it or not. These moves exist so you can make a visit to the town an interesting event without spending a whole session haggling over costs of a new Baldric. I think I'm going to end this video there, and then the next video will cover elements of the steading and adding a steading, and then there'll be steading tags to go over, a big list of steading names, and then I'll do an individual video for making a village, making a town, making a keep, making a city, and then a final video wrapping up the last of it. So I'll probably get about 4 videos out of this. So look forward to them. Until we all game again, guys.